Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Garden of Sports Baseball Podcast. This is your Week 6 prep episode. I'm here with your host, Zach Gardner.
What's up, everybody?
And you got me, Jake Gardner, as well.
Hell yeah.
And if you know the format, we're going to go over our surprises of the week, which kind of covers breakouts or just really, really good performances. And then we'll go over key pickups for hitters and pitchers. We'll tell you about our watch list, and then we'll talk about some possible trade targets for you guys. So, yeah, really crazy week. Let's jump into it, bro.
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
And you actually got to go to a ball game this week.
Yeah, I did. It was really fun. I got to get rained on and watch the White Sox lose. But I did get to see the fireworks go off because Adam Engel hit a home run, so that was pretty cool. So got to actually see a home run and got to see Kopech look good for every inning that he pitched except for one where he walked 4 guys and hit a guy. Mm-hmm. That was awesome.
Well, it was a good challenge for him. You know, we got to play good teams.
It was nice to see that, you know, he could mow them down in 4 of his 5 innings.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, he'll learn from it.
But yeah, that was fun. It was. It's still great to obviously go see any baseball game in person. It was really cool, and to see the Yankees was pretty cool. I'd never seen the Yankees, you know, live before, so that was pretty fun. Just anytime the Yankees roll into town, a lot of history and everything.
A lot of stars, bro. I mean, these are 2 of the top teams in the league.
Yeah, and
they had software talent.
And the White Sox had a bunch of guys. But the Yankees still played all their studs, so I got to see, you know, Judge, I got to see Rizzo, Stanton, everybody. So that was pretty cool, actually.
DJ LeMahieu?
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu.
Was it Nestor?
It was Nestor. I saw their ace so far this year, so it was a pretty cool game.
Yeah. Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, any surprises of the week for you?
Yeah, surprises, the rain on yesterday's game. No,
oh my god.
No, but my big one, Cincinnati, they pitched a no-hitter against the Pirates and they lost the game because Hunter Green had 5 walks. So I thought that was pretty funny. They lost 1-0 after a no-hitter. I mean, that's the most Cincinnati Reds 2022 thing ever.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That tells you everything you need to know about, you know, the Reds this year. It's just you know, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nestor Cortes, and, you know, I can confirm because I was there yesterday at Guaranteed Rate Field. He is a good pitcher. Number 1 player this past week in fantasy, at least on Yahoo, it is. So that's pretty crazy just because he's not like a household name at this point. You know, he's kind of still an up and comer.
Oh, look at this, bro. Because it's a 2-start week. He pitched 7.1 innings on last Monday. 8 innings against the White Sox.
Yeah, he's an innings eater, man, and he kind of does it all. Like he gets the soft contact, and he also strikes guys out. He's like that combination, and if he can keep that up, he'll be a top 10 pitcher for sure. Like
49 strikeouts in the year.
He doesn't give up a lot of, you know, fly balls. He gives up a lot of soft contact, and he strikes guys out too. Usually it's one or the other with most pitchers. You're either a strikeout guy or a guy that just, you know, gives up the infield ground balls. He does both, so it was kind of cool to see him working, and then, you know, that mustache game is on point. So
yeah, he's up to the 23rd ranked pitcher.
Yeah. I think, you know, the Yankees are you figure he's going to get run support every time he pitches, so you feel like he's just going to keep climbing the ranks and everything, so we'll see. But I mean, it's still a surprise to me at this point just because he's not quite a household name, but maybe he will be, you know, sooner than later. And then
he is in fantasy.
A real big surprise, Tariq Skubal, number 3 pitcher this past week. Definitely not a household name guy, and not a guy that a lot of people hold in high regard at this point. You know, not a guy a lot of people are like, oh, watch out for this guy. You know, he's kind of just doing his own thing and coming out of nowhere. And at least the last couple starts, he's looked pretty good. So just
he's really. It might be the beginning of a breakout. 2.5 ERA, so he's brought that down. 45 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's kind of
also eating innings.
He's reminding me a little bit of like Dylan Cease last year so far. You know, maybe if he keeps this up, he'll be like Dylan Cease this year, just kind of breaking out like into like a stud pitcher. But
yeah, if he could stay consistent.
I don't know if I'm buying it yet at this point because I don't know. I just don't quite believe just yet. But he did great this last week.
For sure.
And then Ranger Suarez on the Phillies had a sneaky good last 2 starts. Scored 23 points in his last start, and 2 starts ago scored 20 points. So he's up there in the 20s, multiple games, multiple starts. So just something to watch. Some of these pitchers are starting to come out of the woodwork and looking pretty decent right now.
Yeah, everybody's getting stretched out, so you're actually seeing who's going to break out this year, you know?
Yeah.
Who's going to have a good year, so good to see.
Mm-hmm. So what surprises you got, bro?
We got to talk about this one. Bryce Harper had I'd have to look at the exact number, but almost 40 fantasy points, if not 40. Looks like he's going for another MVP. He's the number 1 hitter in fantasy points leagues.
Crazy.
.305 batting average, 9 home runs, 27 RBI, 6 stolen bases.
Yeah.
And he did this several of these breakout games were against the Dodgers, so this isn't just like a Baltimore series. This is the real deal. This is what, people thought that was the worst, like a really bad deal for the Phillies, but if he's going to get you back-to-back MVPs within that deal, I mean, what else can you ask for? I mean,
yeah.
That's exactly what you're paying for.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really bad first 2 years. Well, a really bad first year in Philly, and then a decent second year, and then last year was just crazy.
Yeah.
Or was last year his second year in Philly?
I thought he's only been there 3, but now I feel like we're getting old, and maybe it's 4.
I think this is his 3rd year, because him and Manny Machado, this is both, they were free agents at the same time. So yeah, he had like a bad first year there, and then last year, obviously MVP, and then this year, looking like he's well on his way to another one. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, dude's a stud. Maybe the Phillies, since they paid all that money out, maybe they'll actually make a playoff run. We'll see. Yeah,
I mean, you look at their roster, and they have, on paper, they have one of the rosters where you're like, wow, that's a lot of good players. So they just got to put it all together,
Yeah, for sure, man. And then my pitcher, I combined 2 guys who are pretty low owned. I streamed them actually this Sunday to win my week because I was down by 40. Nice. Martin Perez, 2.01 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 33 strikeouts. This isn't what he normally does. I know he's a 10-year veteran, which the underlying numbers I think suggest he won't keep these, but right now he's a stream.
He's a stream until he's not, right?
Exactly. 2 good starts this week. Jose Quintana, another 2-start week, 2.19 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 30 strikeouts. Looks like these 2, these are 2 veterans who everybody knows who they are. They've been in the league 10 plus years. But maybe one of them's going to have a full renaissance year. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm intrigued with both of them for streaming, for sure. Especially Quintana, if he's got his command under control. That's always been his main issue. Jose Quintana always does good if he can get through the first inning. The first inning is always his worst, and he, if he walks a couple guys, he's going to suck for the whole game, and he'll be out of there by the 4th inning. But, if he can get through that first inning without allowing a base runner, that's even when he was on the White Sox. That was always the key, getting out of that first inning, not giving up any base runners, and he would coast 5, 6, 7 innings, and he'd be fine. He'd get into his groove, but especially as he's gotten older, this lost some of his command. it's been a more rough thing for him. So if he can do that, he's definitely a streaming option if he can be consistent with that.
For sure. Yeah, I think like I'm not gonna just hold them through. Like if they had a really bad start, I think I would think that's the official like they're falling off, you know. But if they can keep up some decent starts, I might hold. We'll see. But yeah, I was just surprised by just those two names doing something. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah, dude, key pickups, man. Let's break into it.
Yeah.
Which one do you want, hitters or pitchers, bro?
Let's go hitters.
All right.
I got some good information on this first guy here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, Trey Mancini, 181st ranked hitter. He's starting to climb up. I was surprised. I knew he's been doing good because he's on my fantasy team. But I didn't realize that his batting average. I know he's been doing better fantasy wise, but like his batting average has climbed up to 289 now. That's awesome. And he's up to 3 home runs, 13 RBI. He's only 57% rostered. A lot of people had a quick hook with him when he started off so bad, like the first couple weeks. But your boy on the podcast stuck with him and starting to reap the rewards now, because I'm sure if I would have dropped him, chances are somebody else would have picked him up and I would lose out, because I know there's a lot of guys in our league at least that like Trey Mancini. And he just did so good last year. I just couldn't drop him so quick, you know, when he hit almost 40 bombs last season.
And you were close.
He's a slow starter. I mean, I think we were talking about it on like one of the past episodes, but
we were, yeah.
Yeah, I was really close to doing it, but something about me was just like, it's too early. And every year in baseball especially, I always do the thing where I drop a guy like in the second or third week of the season, and I always end up regretting it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like actively like going against how I have done things in the past this season, just trying to, as much as possible, keep my drafted roster, you know, not make any hasty decisions, because baseball's just such a too long of a season, you know. So, but yeah, Mancini is looking like he's starting to get back to. He's just turning into that guy that he was most of last season. So I think he's going to be a hold from here on out if you can get your hands on him, if he's available. And
yeah,
you know, there's 43% of leagues.
Yeah, he could actually be grabbed.
Where
That's why
he's
we got him on here.
So just go check, because he'd be worth, even if if somebody dropped him and he's a waiver option right now, he's worth using your waiver claim. So just go check if he's available.
For sure, like that one.
Yeah, and then so you just want me to handle the hitters, Jake?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we'll go on to Colton Wong, 77th ranked hitter. I might go add this guy myself.
Yeah, bro.
257 batting average, 3 home runs, 12 RBI, 8 stolen bases. He's 52% rostered on the season. He went off this last week, so
he's been picked up.
Yeah, because I don't remember. He's at 52%. That seems like a big climb. So he's still available in a lot of leagues, but you know, go see if he's available. Especially if you need like second base help, because that's historically a pretty thin position. So even if, you know, this doesn't last, I think he's in the middle of a hot streak right now that you'll
definitely
get plenty of points out of. Yeah.
Anybody available inside the top 100 hitters, you got to grab.
And then Jurickson Profar. I like this guy, but just history tells you that he is a very streaky dude. Right now, he's the 56th ranked hitter, and that's mainly because he had such a good first 3 weeks that had him in the top 25, and since then he's been falling down the ranks.
Yeah.
He's got a 185 batting average now. When I picked him up back in this week 2, he was batting 350. So that just tells you how much he's sunk the last couple of weeks. 5 home runs, but 17 RBI. He is in a lineup where RBIs, he can run into some RBIs, but I don't think he's gonna be the best cleanup. I don't think he's gonna be a great cleanup hitting option. even though everybody in that lineup so far is doing pretty good. So I think that's an inflated RBI number. But he's got 2 stolen bases. He's 42% rostered. That's plummeted. He was like in the 80% when the second week of the season, because people were like, oh, this is finally his big breakout. And then he proceeded to do what he's been doing the last 5 years, which is nothing after he gets you a little bit excited. So, but if you absolutely just need a hitter on a Sunday or something for some extra points, he's a good option for something like that, because on a Sunday afternoon game, they might be playing Baltimore or something. Just go pick him up, see how he does.
For sure.
And then Alek Thomas, top prospect of the Diamondbacks. He's up to a 368 batting average, 1 home run, 3 RBI, 33% rostered. If you're looking for injecting some young blood into your fantasy lineup, maybe consider Alek Thomas. He's
he's hot.
Available. Yeah, so in Arizona, sneaky good team. I think a lot of people still think of Arizona as a shit team, but they're not the worst team out there for some fantasy players. I think a lot of people overlook them because going into the season, everybody was like, "Oh, the Diamondbacks are gonna suck." But so far this season, they're not doing absolutely awful. I think there's some diamonds in the rough on the Diamondbacks team that you can find. So just go give this guy a look if you need some hitting help.
For sure.
And then Gary Sanchez, 205 batting average. I mean, I don't really look at batting average as much for catchers. I just look at can they hit me some dingers, because that's all I really want.
Yeah.
2 home runs, 12 RBI, 1 stolen base. Stolen base for a catcher, that's something that obviously opens your eyes a little bit. Oh, damn. Had a good week. I think he hit a dinger this week, 44% rostered. And the thing about Gary Sanchez is when he gets hot, he's just Mr. Dinger. But it's everywhere. It's so few. You just never know when he's going to get on that hot streak, because when he's not on that hot streak for him usually can last a while. But it's there's a lot of bad, terrible play in between, and you just don't know when he's going to get on it. So just be watching him and be ready to pounce if he has a couple games in a row where he, hits a couple dingers or something. So he might be worth an option.
Yeah, no, he recently I put him on here because just wanted to hit a catcher that's available, and he had 2 pretty good games in a row.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. So.
And then
catcher to grab.
Yeah, just a catcher to grab. And then lastly here, wrapping up hitters, pickups, Luis Gonzalez, 349 batting average, 2 home runs, 15 RBI, 3 stolen bases, only 9% rostered, so he's available. He's hitting 421 in his last 7 games, so definitely somebody to consider picking up right now. While he's
deep league move, he's doing really well, and nobody's noticing, I guess. So he's available, even in our league.
Yeah. So we'll move on to pitchers. Who you got for pitchers?
Yeah, Zach Logue.
Okay.
1.35 ERA, 1.05 WHIP, 12 strikeouts in 13 innings pitched. So it's a small sample size, but at this point, pitching is scarce to pick up. It's really hard to find guys right now that are gonna do you well for possibly the long term. I mean, there's always just streaming options, obviously, but this could be a possible breakout guy on the Oakland Athletics. So,
oh yeah,
we'll see if he can keep it up. It's not nothing guaranteed, but
are the Oakland Athletics a big surprise or what, dude? They're actually doing pretty decent.
Okay, I haven't been following them.
People thought they were going to be just, ass this season, which I think, me included, thought they weren't going to be good. Trading away 2 of their better players, and Olsen.
Well, they should be. Yeah, they should be the worst team in the league.
Yeah, but they're not. And
they're 15 and 22. They're better than The Orioles, the Red Sox, the Royals, the Tigers.
Which reminds me, I think we missed a key pickup hitter.
They're better than the Cubs, the Reds. Yes, they're better than we thought they would be. Like 10 teams better.
Yeah, and then I think we just missed real quick. One last key pickup hitter. I want to talk about Ramon Laureano.
Oh, okay.
He's back, and he did really good this week. Hit a home run. He's been getting some stolen bases, doing good in the outfield as well. So there's a lot of he's got that combination of speed and can hit the ball. So looking pretty good. I think you might want to go pick him up. I don't have his percent owned in front of me. Well, I guess I can check my team real quick because I do own Laureano. I picked him up 2 weeks ago. Let's see what he's at here. He's batting 176, so he's got to get going there a little bit. But he's hit a couple dingers. Or actually, no, he's hit no home runs. But he's getting some stolen bases. He's got 2 stolen bases. He looks like he's starting to get his feet under him a little bit. So just he's only 40%. He's only 40% rostered, so he's available. I think he's a good ad. A lot of leagues, a lot of formats.
Okay.
So, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and then my next pitcher, Alex Cobb, 3.98 ERA, 1.38 whip, 28 strikeouts. He's on the Giants, which is a pitching park. And his underlying metrics show that he has the potential to become a top 10 pitcher. It's just with Cobb, it's always a thing with staying healthy, but 48% rostered, you can at the very least stream him, but he's a great grab long term as long as he can stay healthy. I really like him. That's why I almost dropped him, but I held him this whole time just because of those underlying metrics. And he's had 2 good starts now, so I'd say go pick him up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then Ranger Suarez, this is the guy Zach was talking about. Ranked 202, 3.72 ERA, 1.38 whip. 28 strikeouts, but the past 2 starts, like Zach said, have been really good. So, another guy to fill in the bottom of your bench of pitchers, another guy to stream.
Yeah.
Martin Perez, rank 89. This is the guy, well, I already talked about Martin Perez and Jose Quintana, so I already went over the stats earlier in the podcast. So, obviously those guys are at the very least streams. They're going to pitch once this week, probably around Saturday. So if you think you're not in too deep of a league, you could probably wait to stream them, but otherwise, take a flyer on one. Reed Detmers, 3.77 ERA, 0.84 whip, 20 strikeouts. I just noticed that a bunch of guys, or he's being picked up in decent amount of leagues because of that. Well, it wasn't a perfect game, right? Or it was a no-hitter.
Well, he didn't. What are we talking about here? We're talking about the Cincinnati one.
No, he had a no hitter.
Reed Detmers threw a no hitter. Yeah.
So it's a guy to take a flyer on. He's only 24% owned. His next start's coming up here. See if he can maintain any of that dominance, because it was against Tampa Bay. So this isn't just like.
Yeah, it wasn't just a fluky one, like against a bad team,
Mm-hmm. And it's got to boost his confidence a lot. So it's another guy that, see where it goes. At this point in the year, a lot of those breakout guys are already grabbed. So now you got to wait for the next wave.
Yeah.
One of these guys. And then I noticed in our league, which is a very competitive league, Alex Wood is still available. 3.6 ERA, 1.37 whip, 30K. Another Giants pitcher, which it's a pitcher stadium, and if everybody remembers last year, he had a really good year. He was like an early season grab last year. Only 67% owned, so yeah, it's higher than a lot of these other guys, so he might not be available, but I still wanted to add him to the list. Like, this isn't a guy you should overlook.
Mm-hmm.
Very serviceable numbers. And then, kind of a pitcher similar to him, Drew Rasmussen, hopefully I said that right. But 2.67 ERA, 0.92 whip, 27 strikeouts. He's on Tampa Bay, who everyone knows if you've been playing baseball for a while, fantasy baseball, Tampa Bay develops their pitchers really well. Like they always find a way to get the best out of the pitchers they bring up, and he's looking really good. He's pretty 61% owned is pretty low for the numbers he's providing, and he's ranked 124 overall. So
nice, yeah,
definitely a guy I like to stream. Like even if you don't grab him full season, it's a great stream. So that does it for me for pitchers. I don't think anybody else on my our watch list made the cut for me to grab, but these guys all look pretty solid. But watch list, let's break into it, bro. Quick hook. This one we're actually lowering to about 5 players because you shouldn't have too many on the quick hook list because nobody can make that many moves.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest are just watch lists. So these first 5 here, Max Meyer may come up for the Marlins on Tuesday, right, Zach?
Yeah, there's talk about him possibly starting on Tuesday with the recent news of Luzardo going to the IL.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is their top prospect in the really, really fucking deep Marlins prospect system. So this guy is the top one. Like the next guy everybody thinks is going to be like a stud ace pitcher. So a lot of people are excited about the possibility of him coming up on Tuesday. We just don't have any confirmation of that right now. So right now he's just a guy you want to be checking on those updates like tomorrow. Before the game.
Yeah, he could get scooped up real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jock Peterson, he's been on our quick hook list for the past 2 weeks. He was breaking out about 3 weeks ago, then he got injured. And since he's been back, he hasn't been as dominant, but 177th ranked hitter, .244 batting average, 7 home runs, 14 RBI, 1 stolen base, only 44% rostered. So if you're looking for power at the end of your outfield, I think this is the guy.
Yeah, I like that one.
Christian Walker, this is for deeper leagues, but I wanted to put him on here because he's the 88th ranked hitter in points leagues, .203 batting average, 6 home runs, 14 RBI, only 6% owned. So if you're lacking at first base depth, this is a great grab in like a 12 to 14 team league. And most likely he is not owned. Like, that was pretty surprising to see him here,
Right.
And then Hunter Green, if everybody remembers, he was the top prospect pitcher for Cincinnati, called up about a month ago. He had started good in his first couple, and then he had really bad couple of games kind of falling down, and then almost threw a new hit. He was a big part of that no-hitter for Cincinnati that they didn't win. And it didn't count as a no-hitter, but 7.1 innings pitched, he was pretty dominant. It was the Pirates, I know, but still, if it's a top prospect doing this kind of stuff, you gotta take notice.
Mm-hmm.
So just because of his overarching numbers, like over a 5 ERA, I think I'm not ready to grab him yet, but I want to see his next start, see how it goes. Josh Naylor was going off for Cleveland before he was put on the COVID list, along with a lot of other members of that team. But he was starting to be picked up very fast, and then all that went down. Still pretty high owned, 63%, but probably about to come back, and his numbers were pretty insane. .347 batting average, 5 home runs, 22 RBI. So, and as we know, as White Sox fans, Cleveland's been doing way better than anyone thought they would be,
Mm-hmm.
So this guy looks pretty dang good. I want to see how he does when he comes back from COVID, but I'm quick hook, because he has first base and outfielder eligibility. You want to take the watch list, Zach?
Yeah. So started off here with Aaron Savale. He's been really struggling. He had another bad start the other day. Just when it looked like he was going to start breaking out of his funk, he had another bad start. So just keep him on your watch list. I think he's going to get out of it at some point. He's historically been a lot better than he's been lately.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you can't roster him right now, but just be waiting for him to probably put a couple good starts together, and then I would immediately probably add him at that point.
Yeah.
And then German Marquez, kind of similar. He was an all-star pitcher last year. Colorado's a tough place to pitch. So I wasn't sure if he would repeat what he did last season, but I still think he is a good pitcher, one that can be rosterable. And he's starting to put a couple good starts together here, so maybe be watching, maybe pick this guy up some point this week or something if he has another good start.
Sure.
And then Marco Gonzalez, a lot of people always have liked this guy historically.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not having a great season this season.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to pull up his
3.38 ERA, 1.53 WHIP.
So that's not
strikeouts.
terrible. The WHIP isn't good, but the ERA not terrible. He scored 15 points his last start. So I guess his problem is he walks guys obviously with his WHIP, but gives up a few hits, but he usually gets a little more strikeouts. So I would expect those to go up a little bit, but definitely be watching this guy because he can get on streaks and be a pretty good pitcher.
For sure. Yeah, I think he's always been a stream option. But this year he's really low owned, 16%. So I like that one.
And then another guy, Taijuan Walker on the Mets. I wanna pick this guy up, but I also don't want to have 4 Mets pitchers on my team. So
yeah,
he's very similar to me to Carlos Carrasco. So I would just, if both of them are available in your league, it's probably either or which one you want, Walker or Carrasco. They're both pretty similar where they'll have great games, they'll have some bad games, and anything and everything in between as well. So I think Taijuan Walker can be a good guy to add for a stream, though, pick up for a stream. Got good numbers on the season. A 3 ERA and a 1.06 WHIP. 18 innings pitched, only 8 strikeouts. He did come back from an injury, so I think the strikeouts are going to go up. So definitely a guy to be watching.
For sure.
And then
it's just weird that he has such low strikeouts, 8 on the year.
Yeah, that's different for sure. So I think that's definitely because of his injury.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got a hitter here, AJ Pollock. Just keep this guy on your watch list. He can get hot. And I think he's going to do a lot better than he has been so far. I mean, he's batting 192. Yeah. He's got 1 home run, 8 RBI, slow start for him, 1 stolen base, which is surprising to me because he does not run very elegantly.
his best year ever was last year on the Dodgers. So,
well, I don't know best year ever, but best year with the Dodgers. Because
I thought it was his best yet, but
no, he had a great breakout year in Arizona like 7-8 years ago, like in 2012 or something.
Okay.
Had a great breakout season. I think that was his best season ever. He's never gotten back to that. But that was a long time ago. But yeah, I think he's definitely going to be better than he's been so far. He's starting to show signs of like maybe possibly heating up. Did hit a dinger this week, so just keep him on your watch list. And then another pitcher here, Yasui Kikuchi on what's he on? Toronto.
Yep.
4.15 ERA, 1.42 WHIP, 27 strikeouts. So, strikeouts looking pretty decent. This is a guy, just if he can throw another like good start together like he did last time, I'd be picking him up.
For sure.
And then we got Dane Dunning, young pitcher on Texas, 4.06 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, 37 strikeouts. I like that. I like those numbers for Dane Dunning. This guy, if he's been looking great the last couple of weeks. I would definitely be ready to pounce on him if he throws another good start together this week. I've always liked Dane Dunning. Obviously, I'm a White Sox fan, and he was one of their top pitching prospects a couple years ago, and the White Sox brought him up, and he looks pretty good. Then they traded him for Large Lance, and I think that's a good move. But Dunning, going to be pitching later today. His last start was against Boston. He went 5.2 innings, took the loss, gave up 6 hits, 5 earned runs, only 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. So, he gives up some hits and he walks a little bit. He needs run support, and sometimes he gets it with Texas, sometimes he doesn't. So really, I think this guy's more of a streaming option. If they're playing like a bad team, that's when I would probably pick him up. But if you're really ballsy, see how he pick him up and start him tonight against the Angels. See how he does.
Oh wow! Wait,
but,
Dane Dunning?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize he was starting today.
Yeah, he's starting today against the Angels.
I would not. The Angels have 2 possible MVP candidates that aren't Mike Trout right now. So, plus Mike Trout.
Yeah, plus Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
I'd be scared to start that.
And then another guy I'd put on your watch list, Johnny Cueto. The White Sox called him up today, and he's going to pitch against Kansas City. So definitely put him on your watch list, or pick him up today for a cheeky little start. I mean, Kansas City, I think he can do decent against Kansas City even at his old age.
Oh man, I wouldn't. He did bad. He didn't do good in AAA, right?
I don't think so. But put him on your watch list and see if they're going to keep him up, because this might just be a spot start while they're waiting for Giolito to get back. So.
Yeah, he's got the COVID.
Yeah, I got the COVID. And then lastly, here in watch list, put Andrew Heaney on the Dodgers. Put Andrew Heaney on your watch list. He's injured right now, possibly coming back soon. Just check for the updates, because I think Andrew Heaney will do well on the Dodgers. That's a good team, and I think Andrew Heaney can be a decent guy to add here in a couple weeks. And I think he's going to do pretty decent. So I'm just kind of interested and intrigued with Andrew Heaney this year on the Dodgers.
For sure, dude. Yeah, I really liked him. I mean, he was a big grab right before I got injured. I mean,
yeah.
How close is he being back? Did you just say? Sorry.
Yeah, he's on the IL-10. He began his throwing program this week, so he's
still a little bit out.
Yeah,
but 0 ERA. I mean,
2 or 3 weeks away from a return.
If I had an IL spot, I would stash him if I could afford the move.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great stash.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Oh, he was dropped in our league?
Yeah, he's available. I'm thinking about adding him.
Dude, what a stash.
Yeah, that would be.
If you don't, I might, bro. Up to you, though. I mean, I know you already wasted a move, guy, so.
Yeah, but I might.
I'll give you dibs,
I mean, I kind of wanna add him right now, but the thing is, I'm gonna have to waste another move to pick up the guy that I just picked up again.
Yeah, maybe you can wait one more week.
You think wait one more week?
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that, but we can talk about that off.
He's just starting a throwing program. He's 2 to 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
So
and I would have my 4 I would have my 4 IL spots filled then. So we would I would hope that he'd be back soon.
For sure. Yeah, man. Let's get into these trade targets. Talk about some buy low. So we actually decided that we're going to cut down on the amount, because last week we talked about like 10 on buy low, 10 sell high, and it just, it was a waste of the listeners' time, we think. So
yeah, just a little. It's a lot. It's a lot of.
We're just going over like
to do as well.
The top ones to grab.
Yeah, top guys.
Well, just a lot of them. We were talking about like 99% owned guys that you're not going to get a trade. So we're going for like guys you could actually maybe get a trade through on. To help you out. So Giovanni Gallegos, 3.75 ERA, 1.17 whip, 6 saves. He's the primary closer for St. Louis. Hasn't really taken off yet. Like, he's not high ranked in the pitching category. And, he's actually being dropped a little bit. He's still like 91% owned, but I just saw someone drop him in our league. What do you think, Zach? I mean, he's the 346th ranked pitcher.
Yeah,
but he is the closer, so it's hard. I don't know. I think you could get him for like basically nothing, or if somebody drops him, he's a grab.
Oh, cool. Just real quick, I'm trying to add Andrew Heaney right now because I was thinking about a guy to drop.
Yeah,
And you can add a guy straight to your IL with Yahoo.
yeah. They've got one good thing in here.
I didn't know you could do that. Okay,
Two good things.
We're sticking with Yahoo. I'm gonna tell Jason. Did you just go straight to my IL? That is so cool that you can do that.
Heck yeah! So you don't have to waste 2 moves.
Yeah, awesome. Does that still count as a move for the week?
Yeah, I don't count as a move, but you wanted to drop a guy, pick up a guy. You know.
That is dope. I'm now a big proponent. Everybody switch to Yahoo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying about Gallegos?
I think if you need a closer, like this is the guy to trade for because he just hasn't. He's only got 6 saves so far in a month and a half, almost a month and a half, and he still has pretty good numbers, and he's the primary closer for a good team.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about adding Ryan Helsley. But he's not turning in. He's not going to be the primary closer. So I'm feeling like Helsley is a guy that we can be dropping now. Yeah.
So do you buy low on Gallegos?
Yeah, I think so. Just because he's the primary closer, he's getting more of the save opportunities. So.
Yeah, you got to see if it can pan out and he keeps the job. But they keep saying he is. Another buy low, Clevenger, Mike Clevenger. I know you bought low on him, Zach. How much would you pay for this guy?
I think I would be willing to give up. I don't know. I'd want to try and make it a 1-for-1. Like maybe give up another guy that's kind of underperforming, but like you think a lot of people think will do better. Like. But I don't think you have to give up a ton for Clevenger right now because he just hasn't done much yet. He's still coming back from his injury. And it's going to take him a few more starts before he really gets into that groove and is feeling good, you know? So I'm not so sure what I would exactly give up for him, but I know that you could probably come to some kind of fair deal for both parties, depending on what you need, what they need, you know? Like, let me try and look at my team here and just see if I can come up with something off the top here.
Or any of the guys from the sell high list?
Yeah, but I'm just like, if I was in that situation right now with this team that I got, I might give up like Benintendi for him. Like a 1-for-1. I might do like Ramon Laureano 1-for-1. I mean, I think things like that could make it happen.
Yeah, just sell high on some guys to get him because I think he's still going to have a beast year, like second half. Willy Adames, he's had a really, really good year so far, but he's finally hit a skid to where you could buy low. He's had a 2-week kind of skid here. He's day-to-day right now. He's down to the 36th ranked hitter, which is, he was in the 20s until the past 2 weeks. I like him if you're weak at shortstop. I think this is the one that you could actually get. Like, you're not going to get Bo Bichetti, You're not going to get some of the bigger names, but Willy Adames is a guy you could actually trade for. So,
yeah, definitely.
Hold on, I'm looking at his injury right now just to make sure. Yeah, his ankle X-rays came back negative, so he's fine. Might miss a couple games, but I would offer CJ Cron for him straight up. I mean, I'd offer, depending on what you need, but if you need to offer a pitcher for a hitter, you could offer Skubal. Yeah. What do you think, Zach? Would you offer Gene Segura for Adames?
Yeah, I would probably do that. I like Willy Adames a lot. I would probably give up Segura for him.
For sure. And then another guy that I think might be the easiest buy low you could get right now, besides Gallegos, but maybe out of the hitters, Jesse Winker, finally heating up. He's had the worst starting month ever from his breakout year last year, and I think you could get him really cheap right now. You got to buy now, otherwise, if he keeps obviously going off, nobody's going to trade him. So this is kind of your window. He's had a pretty good week where things are starting to look positive. I mean, he used to be a 90% owned guy. He's down to 76. Like, this is a guy I would trade CJ Cron, no doubt, for this guy. I don't think Cron keeps it up long term. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I would probably do the same. I like it.
I mean, I don't know what it would take full on, but just if you're a Winker believer, you need some power. This is a great outfielder to trade for.
Yeah.
Liam Hendriks, man, he's had several blown saves in the past couple of weeks. His ERA is super inflated, like 4.70. What do you think, man? Do you buy low, or do you think is he washed? What do you think?
I definitely don't think he's washed. I think he's another guy that's a slow starter usually. I mean, even last year he's kind of started slow and then he just took off like before the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this guy can get into hot streaks and he can just, once he gets hot, he usually can sustain it, but it's just him getting there. It takes a little while, I think. But I would be wanting to trade for him for sure right now. I don't think you'd have to give up too much, but yeah, I would definitely want to add him now because I feel like he can start doing really well here anytime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he was drafted as basically the top closer next to, or maybe the second to Hader. But if you still believe he could finish that, then it's a great buy low. He's just not looked himself yet, and
yeah,
I'd offer a lot for him. I mean, he's gonna get the saves on this good team. The whole team's been struggling. But yeah, do you want to take on the rest here? Who else we got? Trevor Rogers.
Did we talk about Liam Hendriks?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Oh yeah. What am I thinking? My mind's other places. I'm looking at guys on the waiver wire. But Trevor Rogers, I think this is kind of your last chance to possibly get Trevor Rogers. He kind of had a bad start recently, and he's put a couple good ones together as well. But he's just not looking quite like the big breakout everybody is expecting. But I think he's going to start putting things together. He's too talented of a pitcher, and too highly talked about and too highly regarded, and looked great last season. I mean, I think all of those things make me think that he's going to start putting it together here, and I would be wanting to trade for him right now before he, does great and you have no chance of getting him anymore.
Yeah, I think when he broke out last year and he was an all-star pitcher, his numbers, they were talking about him comparing his numbers and pitch type to Jacob deGrom. And then the second half of last year, he fell off a little bit, like his numbers rose a bit. Still wasn't horrible. So, God, yeah, I think it's a definite buy low, and he's had 2 good starts now, but this is your window if he's going to keep improving and get back to what he was doing the start of last year.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's got the stuff, and he's finally stretched out. He's just another one of those guys who had to be stretched out, I think.
Yeah.
But what would you offer for him? Would you do Skubal for Rogers? Is that too much?
No, I think I would do that because I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not the biggest believer in Tariq Skubal, so I think I would do that. But that's just me, depending on how you feel about it. I would definitely do that though.
Gotcha. Yeah, God, I would do it. Skubal looked really good, but I think something I wanted to bring up for Skubal is like his 2 really good starts this week. Pretty sure were real bad teams. Like, it made him look really good. Mm-hmm. So, let me verify here. Baltimore and Oakland. So, I mean, he's a strikeout guy. Take that as it is, but this might be the most he's worth all year with that great two starts, Skubal. So, And Rogers is more proven at this point. Scooball's still got to fully break out like a longer term.
Yeah.
Sell highs though. That ends our buy lows, guys. Sell highs. Would you sell high in Taylor Ward? I wanted to ask you because he's the 14th best hitter right now. I just don't know. You know, can you ever trust a breakout?
Depends on the value you're getting for him, because right now he's probably a guy that you didn't have to. He was either like a free ad off waivers, or you drafted him with like your last pick or something. So,
Well, he was, but he's made himself something way more.
He's made himself great. That's why I'm saying like
draft doesn't matter anymore.
I know, but like just based on how easily you got him and how he's doing, like there's no really like big incentive to move him, you know, because he's giving you so much.
Well, you would try to trade for
so you would
somebody in the top 20.
Like you'd be trying to get like a stud that you think is real, you know, that's someone that can keep it going like, for a whole season. So like if you can't get that, just keep Ward, because you're reaping the benefits of that for sure.
Yeah, you would only do it for a more proven guy that could stay within the top 30, you know? Mm-hmm. If you don't think... I just don't know if Ward can maintain like this kind of dominance. But otherwise, yeah, you just ride the wave.
Yeah.
But 14, there's just no way I think he could keep that, you know?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. CJ Cron, I know you wanted to keep talking about this bad boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, this guy you need to really be trying to trade. Like, I would trade CJ Cron for Aaron Judge right now if I could. I would try to do that.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. That would be a hard one to get.
That would be a hard one to get, but like,
Judge is looking real cut.
I just don't know about CJ Cron, man. I just don't know if I'm so worried that he's just gonna plummet. You know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you could get Judge, but CJ Cron, maybe, like we just said, you could get Adames, you could get Winker.
Yeah, I would probably move him for those guys.
Basically, any of the buy lows you could probably get. It's up to you. I don't know how much you believe in Cron, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Aaron Judge, would you sell high on him, bro?
I think I would, just because I'm not so sure he can maintain fourth best hitter. But you know, if you can't get like a crazy package, like maybe if you really need pitching and you're really deep at outfield, maybe you could move Judge for like a Corbin Burns or something like that, or like a Justin Verlander, maybe, if you believe in that. Get yourself a top pitcher. I think that's doable.
For sure. Yeah, I think if you are going to trade Judge, like if you're willing, otherwise obviously hold, but if you're willing because you're worried about his injury history where he misses a month or two a year, I would try to... Man, none of these guys are worthy on our buy low list of Judge. So we'd have to go higher, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's why I was saying like a top pitcher, like, you know, Corbin Burns or something.
Yeah, Burns has been struggling a little bit this year compared to just like his normal self, I think.
Yeah, do we even know what his normal self is? Because he was just a breakout last year.
Yeah, but he was talked about for a while, wasn't he? Like
he was like a top prospect in baseball for sure. Like people weren't surprised that he did great last year.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not actually faltered that much. He's the 10th best pitcher.
I mean, yeah, people.
Yeah, that's the profile you're trading for. Like other top guys.
He was the first ranked pitcher in our draft this year, like first round pick in the draft, pre-draft or whatever. So, I mean, he's done a little bit worse than what you'd expect from taking him like with like a fourth pick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's gonna get to there though, because he's been doing great ever since his like slow start. His last like 4 starts have been really good, and he's like the top National League pitcher. I was getting all the top ERA, top WHIP, top strikeout guys for the American League and National League all across the video boards at Guaranteed Rate Field yesterday, and Corbin Burns was at the top of everything for the National League, so he's still doing really good.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get Corbin Burns but this is where Judge, he could
So,
actually get a top
Aaron
guy.
Judge, fourth best hitter. A lot of people know the name. That's a name that carries some weight, and then people would see how great of a hitter he is this year. I think that could get you Corbin Burns. And then if you have to throw in a bench pitcher,
throw in
like a streaming pitcher or something to make it even more enticing, go ahead and do that. But I think if you can get yourself Corbin Burns with Judge, this is also riding on you having a good outfield already. Like maybe you have Judge and Mike Trout.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's plenty of situations where that could have happened in the draft this year based on where those guys were both ranked. So if that's your case, I think you can definitely move one of those guys and try and get Corbin Burns. I mean, I think that would definitely help you.
For sure. Totally agree. Gene Segura had a really good past couple weeks, really climbing up the ranks here. Would you sell high, though, just because of his age?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I like Gene Segura. He's a great floor guy. I kind of like to have that because you kind of know what you're getting with him. You're going to get a combination of everything. He's not really a big dinger hitter, but, dingers just are usually the whipped cream on top of the nice little cake that he gives you. Or on top of the nice little ice cream sundae that he gives you, maybe is a better one. He's just gives you some stolen bases. He gives you a good batting average. He gives you some runs. So there's just a lot to like with Gene Segura. So that's why I like having him. But if there's something that you really need, like let's say it's pitching or you need something else, I think he's a good guy that you can start an offer with because he's shown himself to be pretty good players. So I think he can get you something.
For sure. Yeah, right now, rank 55, .309 batting average, 6 home runs, 14 RBI, 4 stolen bases. I mean, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect sell high to get somebody in our buy low list. And he's like that kind of rank. He's not like Judge status, He's like mid-tier. You could get Adames, maybe. You'd probably have to throw something in Segura and somebody else for Adames. You could probably do Segura for Winker straight up.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably do Segura for Rogers straight up,
Yeah.
Or Clevenger, It's the perfect time because he will probably slow down a bit. He's not going to maintain.
Yeah, I would.
This dominance.
I don't think he's going to maintain this.
For sure. And then Christian Yelich finally kind of bouncing back after several years of injuries. And he's not looking like MVP Yelich, but this could be like a new value for him because he had none the past couple. And right now he's the 35th ranked hitter, .252 batting average, 5 home runs, 20 RBI, 4 stolen bases. I mean, is he back or is this your chance to sell high?
It's your chance to sell high. Similarly, I'd use him similar to Judge, where I'd be trying to get Corbin Burns or something.
Yeah, or maybe Burns would be too hard since he's still doing well, but Walker Buehler is ranked 76 as a pitcher right now, so he's not as dominant as last year yet. So maybe you could
that
get
one's
him.
A good one too. Maybe you could
Yelich.
trade him. Yeah, that's a good one.
It would take a guy like Yelich,
You could do Yelich. I think Yelich could get you Walker Buehler right now, straight up. Maybe.
Yeah, just throwing somebody else for a little icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And then we've already been
talking about Skubal.
Yeah. Skubal sell high because he's played 2 bad teams the past 2 weeks, which has really made him look like an ace. We don't know if he is that yet or if he's quite that dominant.
I would vote
good teams.
I would vote no, but we can. Mm-hmm. That's to be determined.
Yeah, like we said, you could probably get a bunch of the guys on the buy low list here with Skubal right now. So
yeah,
that'll do it. I mean, we kind of went over what we were hoping for the viewers, but
yeah, I mean, I think it was a good episode. We gave it, we gave out a ton of information on this podcast. Yeah. So if you stuck with us the whole time, you're probably going to make some great moves this week.
Hell yeah, man. All right, that'll do it. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, just remember, like we end every episode, go give us that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell on YouTube, get notified of when our new episodes drop, and go follow us on our social media. We got Facebook, facebook.com/Garden of Sports Podcast. We have Instagram, instagram.com/Garden of Sports. And we have Twitter, twitter.com/GOSpod2021. Go give us a follow. You definitely won't regret it, and you're helping us grow our community. So, as always, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you here next week.
Yeah, thanks everyone.